Hello fellow travelers of film history, my name is Dr. Kronos, and today is a very special day. It's a day of celebration. Years ago, there was a group of remarkable people that was brought together to fight the battles that humanity couldn't face. I of course am talking about Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue. Back in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan began what is commonly known as the War on Drugs, and part of this campaign was to work with various media groups to make anti-drug propaganda, and today's short film is one of them. The special was funded by Ronald McDonald's charity fund and was introduced to the United States by the President and First Lady Reagan on April 21st, 1990. As a kid, I was involved with DARE, and so much so that I brought this special to my school to one of our meetings to screen it to the class. And with Marvel saying that Infinity War is the most ambitious crossover of all time, I raise you, Kevin Feige, this particular special. So grab your blunts and prepare yourself for one of the weirdest things you've ever seen. So this drug trip begins on an average house in the suburbs where we get into the room filled with nostalgia that Ready Player One wish it had, when all of a sudden a piggy bank goes missing, which catches the attention of Papa Smurf in a comic book. Hey, don't look at me for answers. I don't know how this shit works. Papa Smurf, alarmed, wakes Alf, who talks to Garfield.
You want to help track down the thief, Garfield?
Hey, going through life with a blue lampshade is work enough. Wake me when the lasagna comes.
Let me rephrase that. Do you want to help, or do you want to be lunch?
Funny little joke there, but also a bit harsh and a little bit morbid, don't you think? Threatening to eat one of the most iconic comic strip characters of all time would probably make kids cry more than anything. And if you thought this epic crossover couldn't be any bigger, check this shit out.
An excellent opportunity to be of service. But where's Alvin? Alvin! Busy! There's someone who needs your help! What? Another autograph hound?
Really? The Chipmunks too? For some reason, Pooh wakes up and helps wake up baby Kermit Clock. This leads to another weird little crossover.
Oh, I don't know how I can eat electronical devices and shine a light through my teeth, but hey, it's a cartoon, right? Where's Batman?
Troubled by the disappearance of her piggy bank, the little girl goes to check her brother Mike's room.
Alright. There must be 20 bucks in here, easy.
I don't know, that looks more like $6 to me. The sister comes in and questions Mike about his box, which he conveniently stores under his bed where the chipmunks get a hold of it.
Hands off!
What's all this for? Either someone's conducting a major chemistry experiment, or this is a serious no-no.
Toto, something tells me we're not in cartoon territory anymore.
What's that funny smell? I hate to suggest this, but my guess would be marijuana. An unlawful substance used to experience artificial highs.
And why would you have that, Simon? I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
Mike leaves the room looking suspiciously like a vampire from the Lost Boys, and the cartoons head after him. Mike heads downtown to the arcade where we are introduced to the antagonist of the story, Smoke, played by George C. Scott. The George C. Scott? Jeez. To quote Jurassic Park, this special has spared no expense. No matter, because the cops are after Michael for attempting to take some crack, leading to one of the truest moments in the special.
Sorry, pal. At times like this, you're on your own.
Good line, but this is slightly deflated by who actually comes for him. Yes, you've seen it right. Bugs Bunny is here as the first of the 3 ghosts of tonight's feature, the time traveler of the past. Meanwhile, at the house...
Excuse me, but why didn't you tell her?
Pooh! You can talk?
No, the more important question to ask is, oh my god, are you alive or am I hallucinating? For special that wants to get children and other people the message of the dangers of taking drugs, you sure are seriously giving them incentives to actually taking drugs. If I heard that I can see my favorite cartoon characters come to life and interact with me if I take drugs, I would be puffing that stuff every single day. Back in the past, Michael, Bugs, and Smoke learn why Michael decided to, well, smoke. Which essentially boils down to them saying the phrase, I didn't want them to think I was wimpy. Why is it so common to see these traits amongst drug stories? For some reason, Michael gets back to the present where he and his friends talk about buying crack, which leads to the girls stealing Mike's wallet, and a chase ensues.
Cowabunga, dude! How did you ever get so totally cool?
Man, this trip just got even weirder. First it was me traveling to the past, and now I'm running into a mutant turtle. I need to buy more of this stuff. Also, out of all of the possible role models to put into this film, you chose the one Ninja Turtle to most likely take drugs? What? Mike gets flushed down into a roller coaster in the brain. Remember when I said at the beginning of this feature that this whole thing was going to get weird? It's going to get weirder than this. This is just the bottom of the iceberg of weird. As the coaster continues, the brain shows more reasons why to take drugs, like this animation of a smoke dragon. Seriously, if you were high, wouldn't you want to find yourself looking at this dragon? Wouldn't it be cool to look at one of these things and just be like, oh my god, this dragon is so cool. After crashing his skateboard, he sees more byproducts of his high as Huey, Dewey, and Louie show up to question him about his life choices. And then... Okay, if you thought that the ending of Ready Player One was just chock full of cameos, you've never seen anything like this next musical number. So, we're gonna have a counter of how many different characters show up in this. We'll just put it in this corner right here. Alright, ready? Hit it, DJ!
Well, you look like 3 fine lads. You know, I might have something here you'd like to try. Something to make you feel real good.
There's myriad wild and wonderful ways to say no. No thanks. No way.
Better learn a few and take 'em wherever you go.
No thanks, no sir.
If your pal says let's get high,
Here's a practical reply.
Go ahead, let's fly, spit right in his eye and say no.
There's a million international ways to say no.
Those drugs are so boring.
All around the world, the smart guys are giving us dope.
I'm in training for football.
If we're in faith, just say no.
And they tell me that works fine. That's the bottom line's to show me trying to say no.
now you could say beat it, get lost, get out of my face with that stuff.
But that could be tactless. You may prefer cool, like this.
Get you guys later, okay?
I've got too much homework. It's rough.
I'm late for my baseball game and I'll miss my ride.
My kid sister needs me.
Our hamster guy.
Hurry home.
There's no time to kill.
So I'll catch you later. Like heck I will.
There's a million wild and wonderful ways to say no.
Guess I'm
And
allergic.
a good excuse is something you never outgrow.
That's my complexion.
When you pals say, let's get wrecked.
Muster up your self-respect.
Go on, push, eject, protect yourself. Get up and go.
Be the first one on your block to say.
Yeah, forget it, Doc.
But you forgot one. What? There's myriad, zillion wonderful ways to say no.
Okay, that was serious cameo overload. Also, I know I'm making fun of a children's cartoon that is trying to get kids to say no to drugs. But I gotta be honest, guys. This is overkill. Seriously, I mean, granted, we haven't even gotten to the most overkill portion of this entire thing, but in this one musical number, it's overkill. It is the most overkill thing I've ever seen.
Huh? Oh, what a nightmare.
Are we alone?
I thought I told you to stay out of here.
Pooh Bear wants to know why you don't talk to Mom and Dad.
Oh, looks like someone in the family is schizophrenic. So after throwing his sister away like a rag doll, Michael gets called away by Alf, or the third ghost of drug use, where he meets the man in charge. And who could it be?
The man in charge.
Hi.
Obvious twist is obvious. While Mike is stuck in hallucination land, his sister comes back and is approached by Smoke and is encouraged to look into Mike's box. This leads into the biggest what the fuck sequence of the whole special. This sequence is so balls to the wall insane that it makes you question why you like these cartoon specials in the first place. It seems like the plan of these characters is to scare the living shit out of Michael by attempting to run him down, drown him, and nearly swallow him whole. Nothing like getting your point across and having people convert to your own ideology, then scaring the crap out of them with violence, am I right? Am I right, everyone? After that hellscape, Mike visits Madame Daffy for a fortune-telling. This basically leads to him learning that if he is on drugs, he has no future, typical PSA stuff. And so the story ends with Mike giving up drugs, Smoke threatening to come back, and one last hallucination of a character poster nodding to the audience. And this was an obvious nod to the ending of The Shining. Cartoon All-Stars is a weird PSA. It is over the top, and somehow it is so bad that I'd actually recommend it. Cartoon All-Stars is a very mixed special. While it tried to convince viewers not to take drugs, it somehow has a contradictory nature. The animation is decent for the time, and the voice acting is good, most of which came from the cartoon characters. The acting from the human characters, on the other hand, are a bit wooden. This isn't a great short, but if you want to watch something while high, this would be something I would recommend. And so, with that, let's see what's next on the chopping block, shall we? This would be good. I guess our next review is, this movie. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.